Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Growing Up is Overrated podcast. My name is T, and I'm here with my friend and co-host Jen. As summer winds down and the leaves begin to fall, the world becomes my happy place. Today, Jen and I discuss our favorite things about the autumn season, including memories, traditions, and personal favorites. Spooky season is here, so let's get into the podcast. Hello, Jen. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I am, it's currently the 21st of September. And so that means that tomorrow is the first day of fall, which means I am in my element and I am extremely happy. Like I can feel the crispness in the air. I can start to see little patches of leaves changing.
I heard you say I feel the Christmas in the air. I'm like, no, we're not getting there yet. Christmas.
You're like, that is me, not you, T.
Yeah, that's my vibe, not yours. But yes, I feel you. Fall is just around the corner and it is exciting. I'm looking forward to leaving the heat behind.
Yeah, I'm not somebody who loves heat, as we have discussed in our summer episode. But yeah, like this is just like the time that I get to go all out in my outfits. Like I get my booties out if I ever leave the house because still working from home, but like
Yeah,
you
when
know,
I
but
leave
like
the house.
yeah, like I'm starting to wear my flip-flops less. You know, sometimes I'll still wear them to like the grocery store or whatever, but I'm really diving into warm colors again, and I can actually like today I was so cold. I was wearing I was wearing a long sleeve dress and a sweater, and I was like, I'm so cold. It's like literally 71 degrees. I was like, it's so cold.
That's not cold.
I know it's not cold. Like I've like survived like -13, -20 degree weather. That's cold. You breathe in and your lungs freeze.
Definitely.
Anyway. So I think that we really wanted to get into like why it is that we love fall. So like it's not, for me the biggest thing is that fashion piece. I don't know what it is for you.
My number one thing about fall,
Mhm.
it's probably all the baked goods
Mm.
that fall comes with
Mhm.
and just the general vibes of fall. And I'll admit that
It's so
fashion-wise
beautiful.
as well, fall is my favorite fashion season. I
Yeah.
like browns and dark colors and layering. Like all
Yeah.
that is my vibe.
Mhm.
But I also just love baked goods. Anything with
Mhm.
apples, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big like pumpkin spice person. They are not equal. They are not all equal. Could go on a huge rant about pumpkin spice right now, but this would be the place to do it, I guess, but
Yeah, go on a pumpkin spice rant. I want to
go
hear what you have to
off.
say. What are you going to talk
Um,
about?
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know, just like since I've been old enough to witness the evolution of the pumpkin spice chaos, um, like it started off with like pumpkin spice lattes, and I was always like, wow, these are delicious. I love pumpkin spice lattes. And then, or even like, just like ice cream that tastes like pumpkin pie or pumpkin cheesecake.
Mm,
And like I think those are all really great, and I've always loved pumpkin pie.
yes,
Um,
pumpkin pie, best pie.
but then we got into this whole thing of like just put the spices from pumpkin pie into other things and hope it sticks. like,
Like what?
like there's not even a pumpkin element to it. You're just eating like nutmegs. Um, I'm trying to think. There's like pumpkin spice popcorn, there's
Oh yeah.
pretzels and more savory foods trying to do it. I think that's really where I drew the line. Um, but like also as I've gotten older, I don't like extra sweet foods anymore. I like a touch of sweetness.
Okay.
And most of the pumpkin spice blah blah blahs are way too sweet. Just too much. It's just concentrated like cavity machine.
Hmm.
And it'll instantly give me like a stomach ache because I cannot stand how sweet it is. Like even just smelling it. It's like walking into a Yankee Candle factory. I don't know how regional that is. Um,
I love
you
that.
know, like
Here's
what
the thing.
the candles don't have to be that strong. They're too strong.
They don't. But I'm going to plant my flag in the sand right now and make my case that
Okay.
pumpkin spice is just a sweeter gingerbread
Okay.
flavoring because
Okay.
they share many of the same elements of
They
like
do.
clove and cinnamon and
Nutmeg.
nutmeg and occasionally ginger. Like if you do
Mhm.
pumpkin spice things, like they'll put ginger in it too. So it really is just gingerbread, just in the fall and put with
Yeah.
pumpkin.
I'm trying to think like back to my barista days because we had a pumpkin spice latte that we would make. Like I didn't work at Starbucks. I worked at like a more local place that's kind of like Starbucks. Um and so we had a pumpkin spice latte or like pumpkin blah 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 and that actually had a pumpkin sauce that went into it. Um kind of like the consistency of like a caramel sauce.
Hmm.
Um But then for the holidays, we would get really creative and, make like gingerbread eggnog lattes and like all sorts of stuff like that. Um, and I'm just trying to think like what was the difference between the two? And I think it was literally just the flavoring. Like it was literally like obviously, but like it was um like there was a gingerbread syrup and then there was a pumpkin sauce. And I'm pretty sure people would, like mix them together and just be like, this is holiday latte. Like just general holiday latte.
See, like
Throw some eggnog in it. It's great. Like
one
it
of my
sounds too much.
favorite holiday recipes is these pumpkin spice cupcakes that I make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and literally the first time I made them, I ate one because it also has cream cheese frosting on the top, and I was like, "This is
Mm.
just slightly pumpkiny gingerbread."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally what it tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my consensus. I don't mind that because I like the flavors of gingerbread. So I don't mind that they've kind of
Yeah.
seeped their way back earlier in the season and they've kind of taken over fall. I do not mind that at all. I just think
Mm-hmm.
that more people need to think about the fact that it's just gingerbread. It's just the same set of spices.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I'm just trying to think like what's the difference besides the pumpkin? Like the spice blend. Like I fully intended.
To look this up.
Yeah, because like you've said this to me before, and I just never like
Well,
I
if
didn't
we're
spend the
wrong,
time.
audience, then you know that we're wrong because you've looked us up, but I have not. This is just my observations. But in terms of other things that like I love about fall, like I just love the look of it. I
Mm,
don't know about you, but I get really bored of green.
yeah, I
You,
feel this way in Animal Crossing.
yes, connecting it back to Animal Crossing again. Um,
Everything.
Spring and summer are very, very green seasons. And it's just
Yes.
nice when fall comes around and brings in the brown and the red and the yellow and
Yellow.
orange. Like all these
Yes.
colors look beautiful together. And
Mm,
it just makes for gorgeous pictures.
yeah.
And it's so different from any other season.
Yeah. When I paint, one of my favorite things to paint is fall landscapes. Um, I love fall landscapes and I love koi fish, and they're like very much the same like color palettes. And there's just a lot of like that transition and like they lend really well to an impressionist sort of painting style. And I've just always um loved how well they transfer to that. like paint. It just like it's like a marriage made in heaven, like oil paint and like
Mhm.
fall
Yes, you're a
season.
full-on Monet.
Yes, I do. I do love Monet. Um, yeah, actually, yeah, Monet is like what got me into painting. Um, but that's a story for another day. Um, so okay, so speaking of art though, um, I was recently watching a video about Over the Garden Wall,
Ooh, that's a
which
show that
for
I've been meaning to watch.
we should watch it together. I actually own it, so we should watch it.
Yes.
But so it's a mini series that Cartoon Network put out in like 2014, I think. And it perfectly captures the essence of fall. And what this video was talking about was like like how did they do it? What is autumn,
Mhm.
right? Um like what is the essence of autumn? And he went all around to be like, okay, like if like spring is life, right? And summer is the abundance of life, and winter is
Poor
death.
Winter.
It's death. Like, but spring is that rebirth after the death. Like, if you talk about like plants, especially, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know, so you have winter, death, spring, the rebirth, summer, the thrive. Like, life is thriving. So then, what is fall?
The beginning of
It
death?
kind of, but what he said, which I thought was so artful, was that it's the conflict between life and death. Um,
Interesting.
and which is active to be, to be dark. I already went there, but like it is like, the passing over of death, right? Like it's actively dying. um,
Mhm.
and so it's showing it in a way that's beautiful. Um, and like some people, depending on where you are, like I can only speak for America at least, but like depending on where you are, November can be very gray, or it can still be like the thick of fall. Or
Yes.
you could just not have fall, like you just have less hot summer. But
Like our
uh
friend in El Paso. It's just less hot
yes.
summer.
Yeah, or California, but yeah, so but I just thought that was so beautiful to like, I don't know, like I tend to like try to find the beauty in like a something like a chapter closing, and I just like I can't get that image out of my head since I heard it. But Over the Garden Wall is like very beautiful, and when you watch it you will understand this metaphor like even more. Like um
Yeah, I've
give it
seen
a chance even if you don't like scary things. I don't like scary things, and I find it just very charming.
yeah,
Even
I've
though there
I've
are
seen
some
this art
elements.
style and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Like it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like a throwback to like cell shading, like versus digital shading, and just like a really retro look. Um, and it's a beautiful story. So if you like Adventure Time or like, stuff like that, watch it. If you don't like those shows, still watch it because it's not, I don't know, like it doesn't have that same absolutely random humor. I just think there's something in it for everybody.
Mhm.
So that was my Over the Garden Wall rant, but I thought that needed its space in here.
Yeah, like to go back to like the cozy vibes of fall, like
Mm-hmm.
the other thing that I love about fall is that fall is candle season or the beginning of candle
Yes.
season.
Mm-hmm.
I like burning candles, but I find that I don't burn candles in spring and summer. I just
Okay.
have no incentive to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I have a candle collection, I just don't touch them. But, like, as
Mm-hmm.
soon as fall begins, I, like, pull out my fall candles, like, my apple scents, my pumpkin
Yeah.
scents, and I start burning them. Like, right now I have an apple candle burning, and it smells amazing. And then, of course,
Mm-hmm.
we transition into the Christmas season with Christmas candles, like,
Mm-hmm.
just all the candles and all the wonderful scents.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get into candles more as it gets cold. Partially because they help warm you up if they're on your desk. But it's also just like, setting the ambience. Like I often feel like a candle helps me focus. Um, but like right now, my candle of choice is actually this whiskey and oak from the Foundry Candle Company, not a sponsor. But I got it at Michael's, also not a sponsor. And oh my gosh, it smells amazing. It's just so musky. Like I'm somebody who really loves musky scents, so I love sandalwood and like just woody elements in my candles.
Hmm.
And if it's going to be on the sweeter side, then like I want it to be more subdued. Like I don't want it to like smell like I literally like burned a bunch like put a bunch of sugar in a candle.
You don't want it to smack
Um
your face.
yeah, like I like a really light scent. But yeah, sandalwood, just woody scents.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
my
Sorry.
other so it's okay. My one vanilla candle that I have is not like a sweet cupcake one. It's actually like vanilla and cinnamon.
Ooh.
And it's so nice. It's just nice and warm. Like I like a warm vanilla. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my candle collection.
As long as we're dropping our brands of candles, the one I have lit right now is a Yankee Candle, which is why I laughed at your Yankee Candle joke um
Okay.
earlier. But most of my candles are from Bath and Body Works.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite candle scent by far is Evergreen, which of course is more of a winter scent.
Yes.
But
Yes.
evergreen is my favorite, especially since I have a fake Christmas tree, and so when I have the fake Christmas tree up, it doesn't smell of
Mm-hmm.
anything. So I like
Mm-hmm.
light an evergreen candle, and it like brings it the
Me
scent
too.
in. But I only have one sweet candle, and it's
Mm-hmm.
white pumpkin, and it smells just like those pumpkin cupcakes I was talking about earlier. Like if I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get a sweet scent, I want it to smell like something that I've freshly baked.
Yeah.
Like it come out
Yeah.
of the oven kind of smell. But I can't let it burn for that long because it does give me a headache if it if it goes for too long.
Yeah. The Yankee candles that I have, I like really wanted them. I looked like forever for a chai candle.
Ooh, interesting.
Um, and I finally found one at Yankee, and I was like, "This smells so good." I was like 18 when I found that. And I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." And I literally didn't have to light the thing. Like I could like leave it on a desk with the cap on, and you could smell it like so strong. And I was like, "It doesn't need to be this strong. Like, what are you trying? Are you trying to like get the scent across the whole house or like across 5 houses because like it's just too strong?" So yeah, I gave that one away, and then I still have residually kept a salted caramel
Ooh,
candle from Yankee Candle, and that one's in my I have like a small tub
that
of
sounds amazing.
candles, and it just sits in there because it's just too strong. But when I open the bin, it's like and it just hits you in the face. And I'm like, oh man, it like makes me nauseous because it's so sweet. It smells very good, but it's just too sweet.
Yeah, I am somebody who will walk around all of Bath and Body Works and smell like all the candles,
Oh
and
my
most of
gosh.
them are too much for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this year I need to make sure that I pick up more evergreen candles because I've made the
Mm,
mistake of running out before, so I need to do that. But
yeah. Yeah. Ooh, big candle tip. Go to a store like Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. Um, because you can like I mean, you're not always gonna be lucky, like just how those stores always are, but like just smell all the candles and you'll find something you like. I almost always walk away with at least one candle from them,
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
like for the season.
my roommate and I, whenever we would go shopping together and we saw candles, we'd have to stop and smell them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like required.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of
Yeah.
talk about candles.
We love candles, okay?
I hope our
Get
audience
off my back.
loves candles as much as we love candles. But like going back in time, fall was also my favorite because it was the start of a new year. Like,
Mm.
new year, new me.
School.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It was always fun. I liked the fall in school the most. It was always my favorite
Yeah.
season because you're
Yeah.
still at the beginning of everything, so everything's still new and exciting, and
You have a fresh start.
the material's not too hard because you're still at the beginning. Like, everybody's excited to see everybody again, and that doesn't wear off for a while. So
Mm-hmm.
like, it's got this energy that I think that other seasons don't have.
Totally. Yeah, I always loved back to school. I loved back to school shopping. I loved like organizing all my new binders and stuff. And I mean, we didn't always get 100% new stuff. Um, we would often like, stock up. Like my grandma would like stock up at like the penny sales.
Mhm.
Um, and and then like we would just like use those as we needed them. um, but like when I was little, I'd always try to get at least one Lisa Frank thing. If you know, you know. Uh, but yeah, I was really into Lisa Frank. But those were very expensive, so I like very rarely got something from like Lisa Frank brand. Um, and yeah, I don't know, it's just like setting up my organization and like my new planner. Like, I am a planner girl through and through. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but, like, I love a planner, so, I
Yeah.
I'm about it.
I was a planner person in school. I'm not a planner person anymore, but I needed it in school to keep me organized.
Yeah. Yeah, I just find that, like, writing stuff down helps me process it better. So, like, for work, I have this, like, small notebook that I just, like, um as I'm trying to work stuff out, I just jot notes down, and it just helps me commit it into my brain.
Mhm.
But then I look at it later and I'm like, this looks like craziness.
Yeah.
And so, but it helped me in the moment, so it's fine. Um, yeah, back to school. I don't know. It's like I feel like a lot of people would always be like, I don't want summer to end, but usually I was just done with summer. Like that's I'm the same way now. Like I'd be like, all my friends have been gone forever. I'm bored. When I got older, I was like, I'm tired of babysitting constantly. These kids are driving me crazy. And I would just be ready to go back to school at that point.
I was always a nerd, so I was always ready to go back to school. The only time I wasn't ready was when I left all of my AP lit reading till the last week of summer and had to get through 5 novels in a week,
My God.
which I did. I successfully read them all somehow.
Impressive.
Yeah, it was not worth it. Don't do that.
I cannot speed read. You cannot rush me through reading.
I had
I
to
will not absorb any of it.
I used audiobooks and I put them on one and
Mm.
a half speed.
Oh my gosh, that's what I did in college when I had to read like books.
Yeah, it was helpful. I managed to get through them all. But yeah, that was the only time I didn't want summer to end because I didn't finish the reading and I needed to rush to finish it. Mistake.
Yeah,
Mistake.
big mistake.
Uh-huh. But like I always liked back to school. I was always excited. I was always ready to get back into the classroom and learn new things. Like, not to say school was easy because it wasn't, but I
Mm.
just found enjoyment in it.
Yeah, I think that as humans, we don't realize it, but we crave structure.
Definitely.
Um, like I could definitely see that when I worked with kids. They like if you were just like, okay, free play, then like they would start getting into fights and like all sorts of drama would break out. And but then when like you have activities planned, and backup activities, like because they will inevitably not like the first thing you show them, um, then like I don't know, they were just more likely to get along with each other. So I just think, yeah, I think that we crave structure and like summer is nice, but if we always had summer, we would just get, I think a lot of people would just get bored.
I agree with that. Structure is very important in life.
Yeah.
So, the other big factor for me in why I love fall, and specifically why I like September to December, the Burr months, as people call them,
Burr.
is is the festivities and holidays that are in that
Mhm.
stretch of time.
Totally.
Starting with um well, I'm gonna do only the big ones because there are a lot of fall holidays, like Labor Day. It's nice to have like long weekends from time to time, and there are a lot of
Yeah.
them in the
Yeah.
fall. But the big three big ones are Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Christmas is not technically a fall holiday, but it is almost a fall holiday because winter
There's a
is
lot
like
of build up.
yeah.
Yeah.
The build up starts right after Thanksgiving and before it, to some people's chagrin. So I count it as a fall holiday.
Yeah. Well, especially, if you're in the UK, like, or not an American country, I'm sure there's like the American holiday season is quite different from other um countries, I think, because we have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving really is interesting to me in terms of holiday timing because I have a sister who lives in the UK and obviously like they don't have Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is
Mhm.
an American holiday. So their Christmas season goes on for so long before
Yeah.
before Christmas because they don't have anything to bookend it with. And
Right.
here we have a natural, like, okay, Thanksgiving is over. Now it is Christmas time. So Christmas ends up being about 4 or 5 weeks long because
Mhm.
that's all the time it gets. Um, and it, but I think that's kind of nice because it has a firm beginning and a firm
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, I already feel like Christmas just kind of is just too much. Like, so I used to be the kind of person who would like start listening to Christmas music on November 1st.
That's
Um yeah, but like I realized that by doing that, I was like already sick of Christmas by the time Christmas actually rolled around. So I have to like curb my excitement.
mm,
Otherwise, I will just get so sick of the holiday way prematurely.
yes, but as much as I love Christmas, this episode's not about Christmas, so I'm gonna
Stop being invasive, Christmas. It's
um
not your turn.
like because this is our October episode, so obviously it is Halloween. It's Halloween time.
Halloween.
I will
Uh,
say that I think people push too hard to try to make Halloween into a Christmas-like holiday. Uh,
yeah, like by that you mean like a large, like very culturally relevant holiday.
yeah, and also trying to make it like the build-up being similar, and I'm like, it's not similar. It's not the same thing. It's like, the build-up to Halloween is in no way comparable to the build-up to Christmas. It's just not. But that doesn't mean I don't like Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has to do with like Christmas being a time for togetherness, but like Halloween is a time is it's a party, you know?
Mhm.
Like it's I think it's very fun and I think like I'm glad that it's a quite a palette change and different from the other holidays. Um
Yeah, like I Halloween is one of my favorite holidays in principle because I don't
mhm.
really do much for Halloween, but I like that Halloween exists because Halloween is a day where you can wear whatever you want and nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I think is so great about Halloween. It is a day
Oh
that you
my
can
gosh.
be who you want to be and nobody cares.
Yeah.
In fact, it's celebrated
Mhm.
and fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is fun, but I also feel like we can't talk about Halloween without talking about problematic Halloween costumes.
Fair enough. We do have to bring that up. Okay. The two major fronts of this, which one do you want to tackle first?
I mean, you go with what you're going to say.
All right. Let's talk about the pressure of sexy costumes first.
Oh my gosh, Mean Girls moment, Mean Girls moment.
Okay, this is the realest scene in the Mean Girls movie, I contest, where Katie on her voiceover says something along the lines of Halloween is the night where you're supposed to dress like a slut and no one calls you a slut. She says something like that. And I'm like,
Yeah, in
that
her
is
narrative.
absolutely true. Like,
Yeah.
and if you don't dress that way as a woman, it's considered odd or strange. And it's just incredibly frustrating as someone who doesn't like to dress that way in general
Mm.
to feel this pressure to wear certain things. Like, I look up costumes that I want to wear, and then you look at like the male and female versions of the costume, and they're like
Mhm.
two totally different things.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think that's a little bit of why I struggled with Halloween, a little bit, especially through like my preteen and teen years, because I feel that there's a lot of body image issues that can be brought up during that time. Like I know people who like they will go on like diets and exercise routines just to be like super ripped for Halloween. I've heard I know people who have done that. Um and like you see all of the like basically Victoria's Secret models wearing these cheap little flimsy costumes.
Mm-hmm.
And, and you're like maybe you even like the costume. Um but like you would never feel confident enough to wear it. Or even if you do, it's too cold. Like where I live, it often snows on Halloween. Um,
See,
so
it's not often that bad where I'm from, but it's still
yeah.
pretty chilly. Like, you don't want to walk around like in underwear on Halloween.
Yeah, no, like, so we always had to like figure out like not only, I've never really been somebody who loves to dress like super risque. Um, I think that you know, you do you and you should wear what you feel confident in. Um, but um I don't know, there was always like that feeling of like, well, I'm not wearing what the what the other girls are wearing, like um but on the other hand, like for much of my childhood, my and even into like middle school, my grandma and I would design my Halloween costumes together and we would make them.
See, that's so
Mostly she
fun.
would make them. Yeah, and it was super fun. We would argue over it all the time because she wanted to cover me up way more than I wanted to be, and I was like, I feel like I want to cover myself up a good bit. um, and she was always like, well, let's cover up like this more, And so it was always like an argument, but it was still a fun thing, and it's a fun memory, and I'm very thankful to her for the time she spent, the money she spent on materials and, gas money driving to the fabric store. Um, like I think that that's a really great and special memory that I'll always have of getting to sew with my grandma. Um, you know, versus like, just going and picking out something from the store, not to cheapen that experience if that's fun for you, but like, I was always like, yeah, like, isn't that cool? My grandma made this. Like, it's kind of a fun thing. Um,
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I did buy most of my costumes, but
mhm.
a couple years ago while I was in college, I made my own Robin, like Batman sidekick Robin
Mm,
costume,
yeah,
and I bought like a long sleeve red shirt and a like black leggings, and I cut the shirt and made it a crop top, and then I made my own insignia. Like, it was a lot of
fun, yeah.
work. It w-
Mhm,
but I had fun making it.
mhm,
And then I wore it that Halloween. And like, so there's something to be said about making your own costume and getting
totally.
enjoyment out of it. And like, you can do what I did, which is just buy pre-made pieces and then add to them, like, and make it
Mhm,
your costume. And I happen to have a short yellow cape from a Batman t-shirt that I
I
bought. You
love
know those
that.
t-shirt capes
Yeah,
things? So
I
I just
do.
pinned that to the to the shirt
I
and
love
made it
that.
part of my Robin costume. So that was
Yeah,
a lot of fun. Like, I highly recommend making your own costume.
Mm-hmm.
The best part
Yeah,
of
even
that
if
is
it's just
that
simple.
I was a student tour guide at my college, and I got to give a tour in that costume because I had a tour on Halloween. So
Mm-hmm.
that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I one time, um, I went to school in a Where's Waldo costume. And at the time I was using the bus to get home because my car had died. So I was like completely dependent on public transportation slash like my parents to pick me up from the bus station. Um, because I was a commuting student, and so on that Halloween, like I guess like I think like nobody could pick me up, and so I was like, I'll just walk. It's fine. It's a nice day. And so I'm walking home. This was several miles home. Uh, and I'm in this like Where's Waldo costume, and I'm like I'm getting attention, and people are like honking their horns at me and yelling out the window, going, "Where's Waldo?" And I was like so anxious. I was like, someone's gonna hurt me. I'm so
I
scared. Like
love this. This is
they
awesome.
were it was like it was totally fine. I it's not like I live in a like super dangerous area, but it's just like I don't like attention when I'm not asking for it, but I guess by wearing a costume you're asking for it. I don't know.
Yeah, you
I
kind of are.
but like you're not asking for it.
Well, you're if you're wearing a costume, you're asking to be noticed because you're wearing not normal clothing.
I guess it's just the funny thing is just that like it's a like I was thinking I'll wear this Where's Waldo costume because it's less attention grabbing. I thought it was.
Apparently
And
not.
I would have worn like a jacket over it, but it was like really warm actually. Um and so I was like, I can't do anything. It's hot. I'm walking in this long sleeve outfit. But yeah, I thought it was a low key like, thing, but people were yelling out their car doors at me and that was scary. But yeah.
I think
Um
they meant it all in good fun.
they totally did. I just I'm an anxious little human, so
Hmm.
but yeah, so I don't know. I think Halloween can be a lot like really fun, and I think like the festivities that people have, like you feel a certain festiveness, like, kind of like Halloween Town. I can't think of like I can't exist on a Halloween day and not feel like Halloween Town is coming around. The bus is coming in to deliver my grandma. Like,
Oh my god, Halloween Town. All the Disney Channel Halloween movies and episodes like are the best. I love Halloween episodes of shows.
hmm
Like they're so fun.
They are fun. Yeah, I think even down to like the things we would watch when we were really little, like The Great Pumpkin,
Mhm.
Charlie Brown. Uh,
I'm going to date myself here and perhaps the audience if they know what I'm talking about. But you remember The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? Do you remember their Halloween episode with the like ghost in the hotel room?
kind of.
Oh my
That
god,
was a long time ago.
it was the best Halloween episode ever, and it's still one of my favorite things to watch. Like when I want to get in the Halloween spirit, like it's just that
Uh-huh.
good. And
Really?
yeah, it's I really enjoy it. It's like the ghost of 613 or something.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. Like the Halloween Town films, I love those. The Twitches movies, go
Uh-huh.
Twitches, go Twitches.
Yes.
All of those are
Very
just
good.
really nostalgic and fun, especially if you're somebody who doesn't like horror movies. Like I'm not a fan of horror
Mhm.
movies, and most Halloween
Mhm.
movies are horror movies.
Mhm.
So got to stick with the nostalgic stuff
Yeah. Man, that just makes me feel like sad for Thanksgiving.
because Thanksgiving doesn't have anything.
Yeah, like even Jingle Bells was taken from it. Like Jingle Bells was supposed to be a Thanksgiving song, and then Christmas stole it.
Yeah,
Like
Thanksgiving. Here's the
Thanksgiving
thing:
just gets like nothing.
Thanksgiving gets. I think what Thanksgiving has over Halloween is like family traditions.
I guess, yeah.
and family get-togethers. Thanksgiving is a much more family-focused holiday than Halloween is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like the big event for Thanksgiving is really football. But like I don't like football.
Me neither. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a no. You're discounting the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I will not take this
Oh my
slander.
gosh, I will not take this slander. God, how could I forget about the parade? We even tried to watch it last year. Um,
You tried to watch it. Did you not succeed?
well, it was like weird because like we didn't have like cable, so we were like trying to find it on Sling, and then we were trying to find it like online, and it was a whole weird thing. But this year we have cable, so um
Yay!
yeah, so it should be
Yeah,
watchable this time. I just like have for a very long time not woken up early enough or had to work the morning of Thanksgiving.
mm,
I had to do that for a while in college, but
yeah. I
tried
will
out.
say that as a side note, that the 2020 Thanksgiving Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I thought did a really good job, considering the circumstances they were under. Like
Yeah.
the only criticism I had of it was that it was abnormally quiet because the parade normally you get all this background noise of all these people
Mm.
cheering, and
Mhm.
you had none of that because there was nobody
Mhm.
there. But
Mhm.
considering the circumstances, they put together a great show, and I'm really hoping this year they also do a really good job. I have no idea what they're planning on doing this year. I haven't heard any news about it,
Yeah.
but I know that they'll have one because they had one last year, and it is
And
something I
that
look
yeah.
forward to every year. It is one of
Oh,
my favorite things.
do you remember? Okay, so some of us in our friend group were trying to watch the parade, and
Hmm.
we were like, "Oh yeah, that weird like CGI balloon," and you're like, "What CGI balloon? I'm not seeing it." Like, do you remember that?
I
It was
remember
like
this being like a slight confusion. Do you have an answer for me as to why you
I
saw a
still
CGI balloon?
don't. I
Like,
still just like okay, we need to go on investigative journalism on CGI balloons. It's
yeah, because
happening.
I swear I did not see any CGI balloons. I think you were watching a different broadcast than I was.
Oh, yeah, we were. For
See,
sure.
you gotta watch the NBC broadcast. It is the only acceptable broadcast.
All right, I'll listen to you as the authority on on enjoying holidays because you're definitely enjoying holidays more than I am.
But the NBC
So,
broadcast has Al Roker, and he's awesome,
uh,
and he always
oh my
travels
gosh,
the parade route, and then you've
I
got
can't.
the what's her name, Meredith something.
I don't know.
She
I
always
can't
does.
not think of Al Roker when I think like if I think of him, I just think of the Proud Family because there's like a character based off of him. I think it's even voiced by him.
Yeah,
But
I don't
anyway,
remember the specifics of that, but I get what you're saying. But yeah, so Thanksgiving Day Parade is awesome, and you need to watch it. It's the
yeah,
best.
it is. Yeah, like the food. There's just so much comfort food and yeah, like very warm holidays. Like I don't know if like when you look back on your holiday traditions and like memories, like I feel like they're coded a color kind of like in Inside Out, you know? Is that the right movie? Yeah.
Yes.
Um and um like they're just like they seem very warm typically which is nice, cuz it's like even I don't know, like you can even get like some warm memories when it's cold outside, right? Like, building a fort in the like 6 foot blizzard, with your brother. Like that was, that's something that would like happen in the cold that was like really fun. Um
Hmm.
and like warm. But yeah, like I just feel like um it's just really centered around togetherness and being thankful for what you have, um, and just celebrating life. And I think that like it would be nice if we had kind of another holiday season in the spring to kind of just celebrate life being brought back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate
Um,
that spring's biggest holiday is Easter, and nobody cares about Easter. I think that wraps up our conversation here. So, T, what is making you happy this week?
um, Well, I mean, I have to stay on theme this time. That I'm just excited that it's fall. I'm excited for being able to enjoy my wardrobe again, and it makes me just feel really inspired. So I'm just always grateful for this time of year. So,
Mm.
yeah. What about you, Jen?
Well, so as you may have noticed at the beginning of this podcast, we are recording on the 21st of September, which is quite early for our release date. And the reason we're doing that is because I am getting an in-person graduation for college. Finally.
Yeah.
The first weekend of October, I'm going to be going and getting a real graduation ceremony. And I graduated all the way back in December of 2019, was supposed to walk in May of 2020. Obviously, that didn't happen. So I am finally getting to do it. And I am very excited. My sister's flying over from abroad. Like, this is going to be a big deal. And I'm just really, I'm really thrilled. Like, I thought that I was over it not having one. I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, I didn't get a real graduation, whatever. But now that it's happening, I'm excited that I'm going to get to experience it, because I honestly didn't think I was gonna get one. So even though we're gonna have to wear masks, even though it's gonna be social distance, I don't care. I just want to go and do it.
Yeah, like it's definitely like a goosebump experience that I'm really excited for you to be able to get to experience. And
I mean, to be fair,
glad, like
I have now lived a year and a half without one, so it's not, and I'm like in the working world, like it's not gonna feel the same. It's not gonna feel like, oh, this is the end of a chapter, like I'm
what am
graduated.
I doing?
Where am I going next? Like I already know what I'm doing, but it's still gonna feel like nice.
And I mean, that probably just speaks to how good my Animal Crossing graduation for you was. So
yes, it was so good. All right. Well, thanks for listening to this month's episode, everybody. If you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, we can be found at guio.pod. New episodes will be released on the first Tuesday of every month. Please subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us out. We hope you'll continue to listen to us talk about our lives and hopefully learn something about yourself too. And remember, growing up is overrated.